Oh, we don't have a TV now.
Oh, yes, you will.
Yes, we will. I will always be looking at myself. Screw that. How you guys doing?
Are we on? We're live?
I think we're live.
Is that happening? Okay.
Hello.
Hi. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another exciting episode of this week on Dead by Daylight.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining me once again.
Thank you. I'm Stefan.
Yes, I'm Mathieu, Côté. I'm the game director on the project.
Mm-hmm.
Stefan here is a designer.
Yeah.
Game designer on the project. And we are going to talk about a few things today that are upcoming on the... there we are.
Hey.
Okay. Now we're watching TV with you. We're going to talk about a few things that are coming for the project. First of all, though, I want to say, I know a lot of people are talking about that. The Xbox One just got the patch 2 days ago, or depending on where you are in the world, about a day or two ago. So, yay, that means that it's coming for console any minute now. We're waiting for the PS4 to update us. We don't have more information at this point. If we did, we would scream it everywhere, obviously. We are well aware that people are waiting for it. It's coming. That's all we can say at this point. Other than that, we'll jump right into the fray. First of all, I want to thank François for joining us again and making this a technical success. Yes. Second, I want to thank all of our mods jumping in today to help us with this. Everybody in the Discord channel and everybody that's in the chat here. So we have Clyde, we have Giriwid, we have Shiroku, Suggestive, and Donnery, who I don't know.
Donnery's our Japanese mod.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh,
what's up, man?
Great pleasure to have you here. I look forward to us meeting in the future.
Yeah.
So, let's talk about what's coming.
What's coming, yes.
Yeah. So we have a mid-chapter patch.
Yes, we
do. In it, there's going to be some tweaks and changes to a few things.
Yep.
One of the big things that we're doing is a bunch of changes to perks that needed to feel some love.
Yes, absolutely.
So that's a common concern that people have. They're talking about the fact that some of the perks, maybe because they were created 2 years ago and they might not be as relevant today, or just perks that were never that great to start with.
Yep.
So we're doing a pass on that.
Yeah, we totally are. We talked about them last week in the Q&A. So if you guys have missed that, it's like 52 minutes. We have me speaking with Louis and Not Queen, so you can enjoy that. Otherwise, I do believe there was other videos that were put out of shortened versions of the updates in case you want the footnotes. If not, there are other short footnote pages on Reddit and the forums. So please enjoy. I've loved your feedback so far. Some of these changes have been a little, heated.
Well, whenever we do the slightest tweak to this, we're changing people's lives here.
It's true. We are looking to do so as well. We are looking to make your lives flavorful and enjoymentful. I don't know. I was trying to go for too many words at the same time.
But the idea is also that if you had only 3 perks that were worth your attention, then you'd be using those all the time. But now we're giving you too many options and too many ways to really have an impact on the game. So obviously it's going to create friction. But we want that.
Yes,
it's good.
Absolutely.
Passion.
Yes. At the same time, we've also updated some killers. We've updated the Trapper's trap speed and the Hags trap speed.
I have to say that this was particularly fun for me.
Was it exciting?
I played the Hag quite a lot,
and
it really felt good. It really felt empowering.
So now you can drop down and come back up in no time because it takes like 1 second now.
Yeah, I think with some of the add-ons, it dropped to 2 seconds, but with some of the add-ons, you can really make it really fast.
Insane, yeah.
So both the Trapper and the Hag have had their trap setting time drastically reduced.
Significantly reduced. So enjoy that. We're going to show you a little sneak peek at some point. In addition to those changes, we've also looked at the add-ons. So we've done an add-on pass for the Trapper. We've gone through, I think, so we had 18. We've added now 2 extra ones. Now he's at 20 add-ons. He has two ultra rares. The Diamond Stone is now changed to an Iridescent Stone. Again, all this information is in the last Q&A. No, actually, the Diamond Stone used to cause victims who were trapped.
Yeah.
Whenever they would escape, they'd be in the dying state.
Yes.
Right? Normally when you get trapped, you're put in the injured state, and you can never go lower than the injured state. The change that we've done to Diamond Stone is we've made that change on the Honing Stone now. So the Honing Stone, instead of a 50-50 chance of you getting put in the dying state, You get put in the dying state when you are not saved by a teammate. So when you save yourself, you get put in the dying state.
That makes sense.
You get a notification saying that you're affected by the honing stone as well, and all the honing stones will get this property now. Whereas the diamond stone is now being changed to the iridescent stone, and that one resets a trap every 20 seconds, right?
Yeah, that's crazy though.
It's gonna be fun.
It changes everything.
Yeah, so we did a check. So we had done it so that every 20 seconds we absolutely make a trap reset, right? The thing is that
you're talking about a trap that sets itself literally from the unset to set position.
Yeah, to injured and dangerous state. So basically, what was happening is that someone would go and disarm, and if it just so happened that the next second was the second that we were going to check to reset the trap, it would just automatically reset, right?
Yeah.
We've removed this for the time being, believing that it's too strong. We are going to look into if there's no trap that is available to set during this time period, and they'll have a delay before they can be reset.
And so it means that literally when you start the game with that add-on, before you set any traps,
your traps will start just setting.
Yeah.
It's very satisfying.
And then you can pick them up and place them somewhere else if you want to, but
Absolutely.
yeah, no, that's good.
So those are all, there's so many changes I'm quite excited for. There's a few of them that didn't make it, of course. Honorable mentions being the self-care, decisive strike changes. We are going to look to do these, and whispers.
Yes.
We are doing these at a later date. We have gone back, not completely back to the drawing board. Decisive strike needed more work, of course. Self-care as well. It had an issue where if you were to self-care and stop self-caring, you would reset the whole bar, right? Even a progress you currently have. In addition to this, if you were healing with a med kit and then you automatically started self-caring yourself, if you stopped, you would lose everything you've added. So this was way too extreme.
Yeah.
We need to iron out these bugs first and make sure that it's working nicely so that these changes are still usable instead of just completely breaking the perk. Still looking for those feedback. I love them so far. Francois, is it time for movie time?
Sure.
Do you want to go to movie time?
Let's go to
Let's
movie.
go to movie time. Oh, look at that. This is Predator. This is the new Predator. So right now we're watching little Jake run away. Predator, instead of reducing the time that scratch marks are shown, will instead, you ready?
Oh yeah, I'm looking at it and I'm already
bring the
excited.
scratch marks all together. So it's going to make almost like a beeline towards the survivor.
Yeah.
Please do not get angry at the person controlling Jake. That is an AI just running away from me.
It's a very silly AI.
Very
too.
silly, very straightforward. It's exciting.
Yeah.
So we'd love to hear feedback. This might be too intense. This might not be strong enough. Obviously, it comes with its downsides. Now, instead of the scratch marks being thrown up on trees so you can see from a long distance if someone was running there, they'll be very tight on the floor, so you kind of have to be in the area to know that these scratch marks are happening.
Well, that's it.
But once you catch the trail, it's going to be very difficult to lose it, in theory, as it should give you a straight line. So when they go around those corners, you'll be like, ah, you went that way.
Yeah.
Instead of being like, holy shit, there's scratch marks everywhere.
No, it should be. It should make for very intense chases. It's gonna be tough to lose that guy.
Yeah, and if you, I don't know if you saw in the video, but if you go through grass, it's quite effective against scratch marks.
Mm-hmm.
So as a player, you can try to use this to your advantage. Yes.
Good.
Yeah. Can we go to the next video, please? Oh yes. So this is the trap setting time.
Yeah, it's fast.
That was ridiculous.
And that's without any add-ons.
Without any add-ons. This is just normal trap setting time.
Yeah.
Let's do it again. Oh, that was just a fake. See how quickly that was? You missed it. That's how quick it was. Bam!
Yeah, especially
Yeah.
It's much better. You feel more powerful because the thing is, it used to be that placing a trap was such a
it was an ordeal.
Not a weakness, but it's like you're vulnerable in a sense. It's a huge investment. Like we've talked about it in the past many times, but time, like seconds, are literally the killer's hit points.
Milliseconds is what you save with brutal strength, and that is a lot of time when it comes out to the chase time. How far you have to catch up again, insane. So. We have more videos, don't we? Do you want to see more stuff? Do they want to see more stuff?
I do want to see more stuff.
I think they want to see more stuff. Okay.
I'm pretty sure they want to see more stuff.
Again, these are works in progress. We are finishing this up. Okay, by the way, this is Santa King. King David. This is a bug that we encountered. He is
But
not.
it was kind of funny.
It was. I had to. I've been playing with this internally. I really enjoy the Super Saiyan aspect and the Santa aspect of David. We will get into his perks in a moment. This is not an outfit. I apologize.
I seem to be in the way of the. Take me out of there, because I'm in the way
You
of
wanna
the
see the
perks,
perks.
Because that's the thing is people are asking, oh, it just changes the killer. And we're like, no,
No.
not
It's
just.
both sides. It's both sides.
Let us get to the thing.
So I don't know if you noticed, but David King got trapped there. Can you rewind the tape by any chance, Francois? I apologize.
Yeah, because it's an actual VHS thing.
Yeah. You know.
8mm.
Yeah. So I don't know if you noticed, but our boy David, not that far. That's going to be forever. So it takes a little longer to disarm to start with, right? He's taking 2.5 seconds instead of the 1.5. This is a change for the trapper as well. In addition to that, the reason why I walked David here around a little bit was because the trap is going to auto-set. We've got iridescent stone. So for those of you at home who thought we magically just set that trap, we did. We did.
Yeah.
It's called add-on magic.
But the thing is, we magically set it, but then you can too.
You can too. Did you notice that he got injured when he actually interacted with the trap as well?
I did not notice.
No, because we've got the bloody coil on.
Oh, God. I was paying attention to the chat.
Oh, there it is. It was so quick.
Yeah.
It was so quick. All right, next video, please. I hope you guys are enjoying this. I'm not actually seeing the chat.
No.
I hope they're losing their minds.
Good. Looks like shave cream, David.
Ah.
Christmas David cosmetic for the winter event.
As you
Yes.
see, this is the gift that keeps giving. If you look at his perks, he's got plunderers. Can you pause the video for a moment, please?
You can no longer disarm a trap into the trapper's face.
Oh my gosh. No. Well, you can, but you have to be doing it a second earlier than usual. And the add-ons make it longer as well.
Yeah.
Here we see our Santa King. Can you remove me for a second? We have to look at those add-ons. You can see you have two add-ons from the chest. We've used Plunderer's Instinct. We've used Pharmacy as well. And we've used Ace in the Hole. Ace in the Hole now gives you a chance for a second add-on, which is what you're seeing here. When you drop the med kit, you can see which add-ons you have on your chest. Now,
So that's the Santa build.
this is the Santa that keeps on giving, you know? So the idea is that you're going to use empathy, you're going to find your teammates, right? And you're going to get that pharmaceutical aspect, that med kit, out of that toolbox, the chest, and you're going to find your friend, and you're going to bring it to him, and you're going to heal him.
So is the bloody coil ultra rare?
It is a ultra rare. It is an ultra rare.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay.
It took me a while there.
No, it's fine.
It used to be,
and it's okay to say you don't have that information right now.
I do actually.
had issues with
Oily
that.
coil is the very rare, and bloody coil is the ultra rare.
There you go.
And Louis
good.
can yell at me if not.
Well, you will probably anyway.
So was there any more video? There's more videos.
There's more videos. Okay.
This is the last
Again,
one.
we're in the way.
Oh my gosh. So this is sprint burst. As you can see, he's running, and the exhaustion meter is not moving.
Why? Because he's running.
Yeah. But if he crouches,
The exhaustion meter starts rolling back.
yeah. Now, I would like to just take a moment and thank Francois for putting up these videos and putting up with my silliness. These were very quickly done.
Yes. Maybe add-ons in the HUD feature?
Yes.
Yeah, that's been something that's been talked about in the past.
This is something that we definitely want to bring in and bring back. By the way, just saying, crouching does not make this faster, right? The idea, the change that has happened to all exhaustion perks is if you run, you will not recover from exhaustion. As soon as you stop moving or walk or crouch, you will
Start
begin
recovering.
to recover, yes.
Yep.
So, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Oh, yes. I got one more
is this
picture.
about?
This is not a video. This is a picture, my friends. Now, you might have heard about this add-on. It's called the BNP. Oh,
Oh, yes.
we've done a big change to the BNP.
So the brand new part has always been a bit of an issue,
Yes.
but this is what you propose.
This is the proposal. So the idea is the initial brand new part, long time ago, was that you would insta-repair a generator as soon as you touched it with this add-on.
Yes.
We
was
changed
pretty
that.
intense.
It was very intense. We changed this add-on so that when you use the add-on, you would get hit with skill checks that would add 10% progress or 5% progress to the generator until it was completed. It took about 20 seconds. But again, you can complete a whole generator. This new change allows you to install the brand new part over 5 seconds, it will add 15% of the generator total progress to the generator, right? So 15% of 80. I don't have the numbers with me at the moment. And during this install, you'll be faced with 2 difficult skill checks where you can get an extra 5% for a total of 25 added progression. This significantly nerfs the overall impact of the brand new part. As before, you would completely finish a generator, which is pretty much one of the killer's health points. Knocking one out is extremely beneficial for the survivors and a huge detriment to the killer.
So a bunch of people are saying, brand new parts is now useless. Well,
that's fair to say, but I mean, it's up to you. Like,
compared to what it was,
oh my God, it's a massive change.
It's a lot less powerful.
Yes, it's significantly weaker.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I did the math. The 25% comes out to 20 charges, and the 20 charges you can add in 5 seconds, right?
Normally.
With this add-on.
Okay.
With this add-on, right? Normally, over 5 seconds, you can add 5 charges to the generator. So what the brand new part is doing is it's boosting your generator progress by 3. So you're doing 4 charges a second.
Literally, it's like 4 people.
It's like you're 4 single people working on the generator. Because right now, when you work on the generator with other people, you lose efficiency.
Oh, it's true.
Right? So as 4 people, when you're working on a generator, it's 2.8. I don't remember. Anyway, something like that. Instead of 4 charges a second, right? Which is a significant difference. So with 20 charges over 5 seconds, it is a significant boost, but over a shorter time.
Yeah.
Right? What we're looking for players, looking how players are going to use this, right, would be mostly to complete a generator at the end and try to get that rushed finish. Perhaps it is not worth being an ultra rare. I still believe it is very strong as it adds significant generator progress. But perhaps it would be less of a, how would you say, an imposing factor for games themselves, and instead of being game breaking, allowing for fun and useful ways, creative ways to use this item and BNP.
Someone says the add-on is consumed on use. Does that mean it doesn't consume the entire toolbox anymore?
Yes, that's true.
That's what it means.
That's what it means.
So it consumes the add-on, not the toolbox.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a significant change too.
Absolutely.
So
would this mean that this BNP would not be an ultra rare? I'm not sure. Not right now. Right now it will stay as an ultra rare, but this might change as we move forward. Any other crazy questions?
Not specifically on that. There's a lot of people asking if it'll destroy the brand new part or the toolbox.
These are good questions.
Yeah.
These are good questions. Now, these are obviously things that we're going to have to experience and check out for ourselves.
Will the BNP still cost toolbox charges?
Yes, it should cost toolbox charges, unless we believe that it's not necessary in this regard. Please hit me up with the feedback.
So why this new change?
Why this new change?
Is Technician going to affect the brand new part because it didn't affect the old one?
In terms of failing skill checks not being canceled?
I guess. This Technician is just about failing skill checks, right?
I believe so. I think it has a 50% chance to
quieter.
hide the... yeah, it makes it quieter as well. But I'm not sure that would have changed.
No, we'll look into that.
Yes.
But so I think that the question that I find interesting in there is what prompted this? What
prompted this?
Prompted the change, the drastic change to brand new part?
Absolutely. As I was saying earlier, the impact that the brand new part has in a game at the moment live is if 4 people were to use the brand new part and go into a match, they can efficiently and effectively knock out 4 generators.
In a really short amount of time.
In like 30, 40 seconds, which is really intense. Our game is not made to have such short matches or such an imposing factor from one side or the other. So we need to diminish these things in terms for a healthier balance for our game and to have a better time efficiency factor. If you only see BNPs at high end, I mean, if 4 people are running it and they're just blowing through matches, you almost have not enough points even to finish in some cases. I don't know if that's the case anymore for emblems. We'd have to double check.
Does that mean that you're going to look at the insta-heal medkit?
The syringe and the hemorrhagic syringe and the other one? Yes.
Yes, it does mean that
Yes.
we're going to look
Well,
at that too?
We'd like to look at a lot of things in general in the game. It's going to be a matter of which ones we come to first, and then in the order we do them after. I'm not exactly sure what the actual cadence will be. Right now we're definitely looking at add-ons and making sure that everybody has the proper assortment across all of the trees, all the killers, sorry. And in addition
But anything that's instantaneous is
it's pretty
extremely powerful.
Yeah.
It's extremely intense. So
Yeah.
yes, we'll most likely look into that.
Yeah, there was ideas of maybe changing, like when you put on a syringe, it changes the med kit into a syringe, so that's the item that you have, which obviously wouldn't need any skill checks or whatever the case may be, but you'd only get a one use out of it, and then you'd have to go find another med kit if you wanted to. We can, feel free to send ideas.
So someone is asking. I missed it then. Can you tell Horvath that I love him? Yeah, okay, I
Thank
can
you.
do that.
Thank you. Yeah.
Someone likes you.
Well,
Loves
I
you,
guess too.
actually.
Well, I
Okay,
guess.
so someone was saying, so that the changes to the exhaustion,
Yes.
does that mean that to make it fair, or to make it stay relevant, the actual exhaustion will be reduced in time from the 60, 50, or 40 seconds to something more reasonable, or as the...
Right now there is no adjustment.
Okay.
We are looking into some of the other exhaustion perks that were obviously affected, other than Sprint Burst. Sprint Burst was the one that we were looking at initially. Obviously, Dead Hard, Lithe, and Balanced Landing have also been affected in these regards, and Adrenaline, but associated. Dead Hard being one that was not as problematic in chases compared to how Sprint Burst was being used. It had many different uses in comparison just versus Dead Hard in that kind of regard. So we might look into reducing the cooldown for like Dead Hard, perhaps for Life. If it is necessary, we'll see how it goes along. We'll see the usage rates of these perks, and we'll look at your feedback, of course.
Does Ruin affect the BNP skill checks?
Ruin, I would like to make it so that the BNP would not be affected by it.
But
Unnerving Presence would probably affect it.
But
We'd probably have to call these different kind of skill checks, though.
yeah,
Yeah. I'll have to double check.
yeah. Okay.
The chat is
Okay,
aflutter.
will those perk changes go to a PTB before going live? That's a very interesting question. We had a conversation about that this morning.
Yes.
So the plan is still to have a PTB on PC. Obviously, the PTB is only on PC. In the weeks before we release this patch. So technically it should be 2 weeks before. And the idea, the PTB will most likely not be open for 2 weeks, because at some point people stop playing anyway, and it's just awkward, because then you try to have matches in there. So we'll probably do it for a week or something like that. So we'll go to PTB. The goal of the PTB in this will be to test for bugs and for major game-breaking things that we didn't notice first.
Yeah.
So we'll be looking for your feedback. We'll be looking for all of the information you can get us, we will. Yeah. So the PTB will be held about 2 weeks before the mid-patch.
Yes.
And we'll hold it for about a week, and then we'll see. Most of these changes will be tested in there by you.
The things that we mentioned in the Q&A. Will be the things that we mentioned that will be in the PTB will be in the PTB. The things that we said were not going to be in the PTB will not be. The BNP is part of the changes. We didn't talk about it in the Q&A last week.
Right. What about Vigil? You could give that perk the power to reduce exhaustion while running. That would make it significant.
That would make it massively significant. That is a potential possibility. Yes.
It's not a bad idea.
That's a great idea.
Are you guys still considering changing Beast of Prey to be manually activated?
Yes, I would love to do that. Now, whether we do it or not, or we go for something else, is the question at this point. An activatable Beast of Prey. Beast of Prey being that once you get into Bloodlust, you hide your red stain for X seconds. We would make it activatable so that once, I guess you power it up to a certain extent, or if it's on a cooldown, whatever the case may be, you can press a button to activate it like Dead Hard, and you would be able to control when you trigger it, hide your red stain.
Will Leatherface be getting any ultra rare add-ons?
Yeah, well, I mean, there's still the nurse needs ultra rare add-ons.
Yeah.
Well, she
She got the shoe.
the hag.
Oh, is it an ultra rare?
I mean, the hag. She has a shoe. I'm talking about the nurse.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right.
The nurse. I don't believe has any ultra rares. I could be wrong on that. The Hillbilly does not have any ultra rares, which means that Leatherface doesn't have any ultra rares. As I mentioned earlier, we made a pass on the Trapper to make sure that he has his 20 add-ons. We're going to do the same for the other killers. It's a matter of time. And the other thing to note is also it's a matter of what kind of resources we have available to us when we do the rework of the add-ons.
But we always have to pick and choose, you know.
Yeah.
We can't do everything.
No, exactly. But it's also important to note that like a lot of people are asking for changes for Nightmare, for example, for Freddy.
Yeah.
Freddy would need more changes than, for example, the Trapper had at the time being. We had animation time to do the new trapping speed, right? And all the add-ons required very little, less effort than it would have taken to do what is necessary in
Rework
Justice
for
to
Freddy,
Freddy. So it's important to note that the killers will come out in their time, and we are aware that other killers need to be addressed.
Someone's asking also, very interestingly, because we're talking about the BNP and we're talking about the syringe and all these things that are instant and that drastically affect the timing of the game.
Yeah.
How about the Moris? Are they on the table? Because they do change the timing of the game quite drastically.
Absolutely. So the Moris themselves, at the very beginning, when we started 2 years ago, right? A little bit over 2 years ago. It's a long time.
Yeah.
Moris would be you can Mori somebody right off the bat.
Yeah.
As soon as you found them, you put them down. He's like, you're dead. And we made it so that you have to hook somebody first.
Yeah.
This stipulation drastically reduced the pain of being Mori'd, at least from my standpoint. At least you had a chance.
Yeah, it couldn't happen like immediately. Just you get found, taken down, dead.
It's done.
And you're like,
like,
oh, well, that
what? All right.
was a sucky game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So getting you on that hook at least was a significant difference. At that point, I'd love to hear from you guys as well what your feedback is on Moris, because I believe that it does require significant work to pull them off. There are ideas floating around on how we can get Moris perhaps part of the game as a base game without having to use offerings as well. But those are just floating ideas, which would be exciting.
Yeah.
But ultimately, I'm not exactly sure what we would need to do for the Moris at the moment to modify those things. Those are not as problematic, at least as I've seen the BNPs has remained to be, even after our changes.
Can you make Sprint Burst activatable? We've talked about that. It keeps coming back, but it's already one of the most used perks, Sprint Burst. It always stays in the top 10 at least.
Yeah, top 5.
It's very powerful.
Yeah.
Making it activatable would make it
significantly
that much more powerful.
Yeah, compared to every other perk.
Yeah. So it's probably not going to happen. Not like that, at least.
Yeah.
What about Calm Spirit? How will it affect the Doctor as a whole?
Calm Spirit. So we looked at Calm Spirit. It looks like we're going to be trying to hide a lot of screams at the moment. This can be played against you, as if I understand correctly, depending on how we're going through with this. It will be hiding hook screams. It will be hiding dying screams, in addition to you getting trapped, in addition to you getting affected by bottles, and including madness. These are a lot of things. Initially, we were trying just like the intoxication effect and the madness tier up, or the madness random screams. We found that this was too little, but this might be too much. So we're going to keep looking at this, and we'll see exactly what we come up with as the weeks go by, and obviously with the PTB coming up.
Wouldn't it be better if the recovery from exhaustion just stops while getting chased and not by running in general?
That could be a possibility as well. I think we're going to try out, we're definitely going to be trying this out right now, and then seeing the fallout, the actual aftermath, whatever, and then we can talk about it some more.
With the nerf to exhaustion, will there be any nerf to bloodlust? Just curious.
Not at the moment. We looked at putting bloodlust at lower speeds. This is something that we're still looking into. The idea was making it 0.2 meters per second increase per level instead of 0.2, 0.2, 0.6, and 1.2. No, rather, that doesn't make any sense if I'm saying 0.2, 0.2, 0.2. How would I put this in better terms? My math is slipping me today. So Bloodlust would increase 0.2, and then it would go to 0.4 at level 2, and then it would go to 0.6 at level 3 as a new version. But you'd get it every...
That's not what's happening.
No, and you'd get it every 12 seconds, right, instead of every 15 seconds. That was the idea that we had for Bloodlust. We are not going through this right now. The current Bloodlust, how it works, is every 15 seconds you go up a tier, and you're gaining 0.2 at the beginning, then you're going up to 0.6, and then you're going up to 1.2 in tier 3, which is significantly higher.
Yeah.
Our changes would be to look to give you Bloodlust slightly faster, but at lower rates instead of the incredible speed that you get from Bloodlust 3. So your max speed would be Bloodlust 2, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, it does. You brought up how perks that aren't that good get reworked, like in the new patch. Any ideas on No One Left Behind changes?
No One Left Behind needs changes.
Yes,
It definitely
but
needs
that's
changes.
not part of this batch.
This is not part of this
rework.
batch. No, we had
Which is
to
fine.
pick and choose.
Uh, Someone was asking, is there a Hagbard buff coming? And well, yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
The trap setting time for the Hag in the upcoming mid-chapter patch is going to make it, I mean, try it again. Just, you know, if you haven't played Hag or Trapper in a while, try it with that and you will get pleasantly surprised.
Oh yeah. It's going at, I think it's 1 second placement time with a 0.5 in and a 0.4 out, if I remember correctly. So the whole thing lasts just under 2 seconds.
Did you consider letting the Trapper reset the traps without picking them up first?
That sounds really cool. This would be a mechanical change.
Well, that's it. It would be adding a new option, essentially, a new button, because you need to still be able to pick it up. If you wanted to change the placement of the traps, you need to have another option on top of that, a new button.
We also talked about like you can walk around and then like you could charge your trap, you know, and then walk,
Yeah,
and
so
then
you
you can choose where you want to place it, and then you can, I want there, and then you can put it down. Which would be interesting as well. And then if you wanted to hit the guy, well, then you have to put it back and then smack the guy. But we haven't decided on that. That was a bigger mechanical change.
Yeah, it would be.
Thank you for all the questions.
Yeah, actually, I'm pleasantly surprised. I love that people are really getting into this and asking some very interesting and relevant questions. Why not nerf barbecue and chili? It's the most powerful perk in the game. Well, that's debatable, I'd say. It's a very powerful perk. We all know that.
Gives you a lot of points as well.
Yeah.
So one of the big things from barbecue and chilling, one of the things that I believe we did quite well in that regard is players had asked that killers would camp less. The proposed changes for barbecue and chili, well, not changes, sorry, the barbecue and chili in itself proposes to players, if you would like to get extra blood points, you want to hook everybody once, right? And at the same time, the only ores that we show you are outside of a certain range, which encourages killers to leave the hook and go get somebody else.
That was the whole point, yeah.
If you hide, right, the killer might think that you're near the hook, and it breaks the idea of what barbecue and chili is supposed to be supporting, which is the idea of leaving a hook. To get more prey, to encourage more interaction between our players. The chase is one of the most exciting aspects. Hiding is great as well, but you still want to be able to find some people, otherwise you will just be working on gens the whole time. So you need to have that aspect of danger, and sometimes certain perks will give that edge to killers. For example, Bitter Murmur's change, showing survivors within a 60-meter range of the generator every time it's completed, right, will allow for killers to have an easier time to locate survivors and have a more interactive and fun, hopefully, experience.
That's sort of always the goal in there.
Always.
Yeah. So, question about shutting the hatch. Yeah. So the hatch shutdown that was in the PTB that was removed. It didn't make it into the live game because
did not.
Obviously we weren't satisfied. I mean, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't good enough to make it in.
There's more to go through.
Yeah. So is it coming back?
The hatch has not left our minds. This is something that is definitely going to be worked upon. We're also looking at endgame, and we're looking to make sure this is a fleshed out and a solid idea. Our goal is to cement and perhaps bolster the core phases of our game, which is the intro section, right? So starting the match, the killer is starting to look for the survivors or setting up a defense or ambushing, whatever the case may be, and the survivor is going to look for the generators. The middle section being you working on the generators and the killer trying to chase you and hook you and whatnot. The end phase being the final hurrah, the exit gates being powered and you trying to leave. These are the sections I believe that we should be bolstering. So the hatch gameplay falls into that, but it only affects the single remaining player.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really respond to BMing at the gate, staying too long, killers not feeling that they have the potential to keep playing the game and disconnecting early. These are things that we'd like to address. And the hatch itself addressed at least the hatch stalemate, but it doesn't address all of the remaining things that surround our end game. I hope that answers your question. It was a lot of words.
There will be any statistic website like survivor escape rate with different builds and killer kill rate with different builds.
That sounds cool.
That would be really interesting.
They're talking about, I've seen that I think Blizzard has that for Diablo 3. Really cool stuff. League of Legends, I believe, as well.
Maybe. We have a slightly bigger data wizard group now.
Yeah.
They might be looking into something like that. Obviously, they have a lot of work right now,
Yeah.
but I think it'd be really interesting, and it would lead to more informed conversations with you, which we always welcome.
Yeah.
So it'd be really cool.
I think it'd be really awesome.
That's a good idea.
We were talking about leaderboards at some point as well. So I mean,
yeah, there's a few questions about that, the leaderboards and the seasons and the ranks and all of this. Yes, it's a rework that's in the works right now. It's something that we said is coming in the next year. We haven't given an exact date for that, but it's coming. It's a huge system. It's a very complex one.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody here understands that, matchmaking and ranking are things that tend to lead to intense and passionate debates. And there are ways. I mean, there's many examples out there of different ways of doing things. Some might be more appropriate to us, so we're testing a few things. And yes, it is coming. We don't have a date on that. We haven't announced it yet.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was wonderful.
Yeah, that was actually very good. Does this mean Calm Spirit affects notification while hiding the screams?
It will not hide so it will hide the notification, and it will hide I think it will hide the loud noise and the noise of the scream. But the idea is that if it's a trapper's trap that's still trapping, you should still hear the trap going off. It should only be the scream that's being squelched. So the power shouldn't be nerfed in that regard. It should just be you can't focus on the scream anymore for the information. You've got your portrait, you've got the trapper feedback, the doctor. It might be that you see the portrait light up, right? But you will not hear the scream itself, right? You won't hear that you connected.
Yeah. Okay. So I think that's it for the questions relating specifically for the perk changes, which is what we were talking about. Can we get perk saved loadouts?
That would be amazing.
Yeah, again, it's completely different from just tweaking values and slight changes to the perks that we're talking about there.
Yeah.
But obviously, it would make for a much more a better experience, a better gameplay experience. It would be a great addition to the game.
I'd be so happy.
It's always a question of balancing that against everything else that we have to do.
Oh my
but
God.
Yes, absolutely. It's something that we've talked in the past that would be really cool. So you'd be able to have a few different builds that you could swap between depending on the mood.
So happy.
Yeah, it'd be really cool. Planning any change to No Mither?
No mither.
Maybe hiding it from the killer so it could be a counter to slugging?
No mither's an interesting fellow.
It's another one of those perks that was sort of a very out there idea, and it works, but it's so unique that it's very difficult to compare it to another perk.
Well, the biggest thing that I see for No Mither, it doesn't seem to be, doesn't sound unreasonable, is hiding or turning off the engine music. It's so intense for the whole match, maybe too intense. So we investigated to see if we can remove the injured music. It's not as easy as you think.
Yeah.
Our sounds are attached to the animation states that we have, and that is the injured animation state. Now, the injured always plays the crazy music, and no mither is injured. So we'd have to create a new state, and therefore attach a new sound towards it, and then we can have less intensity while we play with no mither. But this requires more work than simply just turning off the music while you have no mither. So, not happening right now, but that would be the major change that we would look at for no mither. We are not looking to hide this from the portrait at the moment. Yeah.
There's a question. I don't look at the questions that are not too related to what we're doing, but I kind of like this one. Why can survivors heal an infinite number of time in an horror game? And there's a little longer than that, but that's what I have here. Yeah, I don't think humans would be able to heal themselves from such hits like bone saws and chainsaws. That is absolutely correct.
Yeah.
If you can get hit by a chainsaw a couple times in an afternoon, it's kind of a tough day.
Yeah.
This is a game.
Yeah.
It's mostly for gameplay reason.
I have to say though, if I dreamt that I could heal myself infinitely and someone was chasing me infinitely, that would be scarier than me being like, I've been hit, I've been injured, I'm gonna die now, I'm fine. No, I still have hope. I can still survive, you know? I think that is just a way to, you know.
Maybe. The other thing also is, and we were talking about that when we were developing the game at the very beginning, and we got the meat hooks, and we're like, oh, put you on the meat hook and then take you off, and people were like, oh, you can't do that. Of course, it's already dead. It's through the lungs or something. And we're like, no. You know,
just put it through the shoulder.
It's canon.
Just get the shoulder.
Yeah, it's Texas Chainsaw Massacre. She gets put on a hook. She actually manages the Kobe, and she's fine. Well,
Kobe, I love it.
Yeah. I don't think they called it that at the time.
No,
but
I don't. And that is one of the best terms.
It's one of the great expressions that we have.
I really enjoy it.
Yeah.
We should call it the Kobe meat instead of slippery meat. I mean, like, it's just so good, right? The hell.
I love it.
We're missing out, guys.
Yeah. Damn.
Yeah.
Why didn't we do that?
Oh well.
Oh well. Okay, so I think that's it for the questions today. Oh, could you buff the bonus XP gains for emblems? Yeah. So the XP gain from emblems is very, very small compared to the overall XP gain. I
think what they were trying to identify was that when you're playing a match, what is very important is that you're finishing the match and you're playing it through. And then after that, your skill determines a small portion of that.
Yeah. But it is a very small portion.
It is. Maybe we can improve the amount.
But the idea was that the experience comes from the match itself, and not your
not
performance
your
in it.
Yeah. That was the idea.
It's a different system from the blood points that are directly linked to the way you play.
Yeah. At least that's from my understanding.
Yes. So to get back, the news that I had today was that obviously the Xbox One players out there know they have the 2.0 update. So yay, finally. Which means that do not despair, our PS4 players. The process is continuing. If we had definitive dates to give you, we would. And as soon as we have more information, you will hear it everywhere in our forums, on social media, whatever. You should follow us if you don't, which you probably do already. That's it. So right now we don't know anything other than the process is continuing, and hopefully that update will be published on PS4 very quickly. Other than that, we have the PTB coming up with those perk changes, so you can get a little.
Not that soon, right?
No, not that soon.
Not that soon. People are gonna be like, tomorrow? It's like, no.
No, it's not tomorrow. Again, we tell you when we do know dates. When we have hard dates, we tell you. That's what we do.
That's what we do.
Yeah. Other than that, thank you very much for stopping by and having that conversation with us. It was actually a very exciting one today. I like that a lot when we have interesting conversations about the topics of the game and feeling like people are engaged. Yes, I am in around the web withdrawal, but it's okay. We're reworking a new system for that. It's going to be through the official forums. It's coming. And thank you, Francois, again,
Thank you
for
so
a
very much.
very smooth operation. Thank you to all of our mods out there and to everybody else who sticks with us through thick and thin.
Yes.
And that's it, I think.
I think so.
We got to go back to work.
Yeah.
So,
See ya.